Hi, friends. I would like to welcome you to a phase in life where you feel that time is flying away. I hope you can recognize the feeling that you are today having. There is so much to do, there are so many subjects to leave behind, and you feel that, how to manage this entire thing, how to do the time management thing. So, I decided to share a video with you today where I'll try to highlight a few points which I feel are important, which will help you to set your time, set your clock right. To begin with, I would like to first initiate a very important thing called as prioritize. Now, in no exam in the world will you be able to finish your entire syllabus before the exam. I'm going to repeat myself again. No one is able to finish the entire syllabus in any exam. So, because the syllabus that has been prescribed to us is huge, and especially for medical students, you look at the books and the curriculum, it is large. So, just before the exams, you need to get back to the priority. And that priority should be set by looking at the marks distributions allotted by the exam board. These exam distributions are varied for different exam boards, and looking at them would always help you to understand, okay, this is my priority number one, priority number two, priority number three. This will help you to allocate correct time to different subjects. And if I go a step further, that there are exam boards where there is no curriculum specified, but at least you have, you can look at the previous 3 years papers and look at, okay, these are the kind of questions they're asking, and these are the subjects they are more pushing in. For example, if you look at like exams like AIMS PG entrance exam today, they are more towards, the proportion of pre-paraclinical subjects and the basic sciences is higher as compared to NEET, where the proportion of clinical questions is higher. Now you can kind of juggle it up and prioritize. That will help you to make sure that you are giving right time, right, allotting right time to right subjects. So the goal, the first step towards time management is prioritizing. This prioritizing not only includes the subjects that you want to do, it also includes in life, in this stage in life, where do you want to put your most time. There would be a World Cup football happening, a World Cup cricket happening, a T20 match happening, something happening. But do you think that is your priority today? And that priority becomes a more broader thing. So once you know that, okay, this is my priority today, my career is my priority. Now you have to find out, okay, this exam is my priority. In this exam, these are the subjects which are priority. Let me allot more days to that, less days to it, and automatically you will find a timetable being made. Now let me take you to the second part. Now, once you have created a priority, the second step in time management is making a schedule. This schedule can be done in a classic pin-up calendar that you might have in your room, where you put days and you put on, okay, this date number one I want to do finish this, date number two. Or you can go a little bit more high tech, use the mobile phone today. In every mobile phone today you have a calendar. You can use simply the mobile calendar or the Google calendar, which can help you to sync your schedule all the time. And you need to make two kind of schedules. I would say there should be a long term schedule, that okay, in the next 5 months, 6 months, this is what I want to achieve. And there should be a short term goals which should be specified every week. There should be like, okay, in this week I want to achieve this, and these are my deadlines. So making a schedule will help you, that it will first bring an abstract thought that you have in your mind about the subject, and it will make it into a reality. Okay, these are the next 7 days, this is the subject I want to finish. And making a schedule will always help you to track your own progress. Okay, so once you start making schedules, you start putting them on paper, on your phone, the things become realistic. But you have to be realistic, but you have to be flexible also at times. Let me explain to you. Every time you will make a schedule, you will think as if you are a Superman, and you will decide that, okay, next 5 days I'm going to finish Harrison's, and trust me, next 5 years are not enough to do that. So you have to be realistic when you make schedules, but you have to allow that human flexibility in between. There will be some days where you're feeling good about it, some days you're not feeling good about it. There will be days when you are able to finish a lot of stuff, there will be days where you're not able to finish so much. But in the end, you should have a track in your mind. That tracker is present in every successful person's mind. The tracker keeps looking at the net progress. I may not be able to meet up to every schedule that I have made for myself, but am I able to go in an upward track? My graph, is it going upward or not? You have to kind of balance it out. So you have to be realistic, and when you set your targets, give yourself a little flexibility of a off and on bad day. That happens to everybody, it happens to me, happens to everybody. But you have to avoid distractions. you have to avoid the habit of procrastination. Sometimes I feel that many people are not able to manage their time well because they somehow keep postponing things till infinity. Like for example, a student comes to me, says, "Sir, I'm not good at pharmacology, but I'll do it one day." And then I meet him 1 month later. He said, I'm not good at pharmacology. I'm going to do it once." So I feel that in his entire talk, I feel that he's trying to postpone the inevitable. Now, there are things that you don't like doing subconsciously. There are subjects which are not your favorites. That is true for everybody. And what happens is sometimes we tend to postpone them till infinity. And what happens with that is somehow you are working again and again on your strengths, you are avoiding your weaknesses. And the entire idea of proper time management is there should be equitable time distribution allotted to your weaknesses as well, probably more. But if you keep that, you have to keep yourself under check. Every time you hear yourself say, "I'll do it later," you have to remind yourself, okay, excuse me. You have to tell yourself again, excuse me, I'm not going to postpone it. I want to finish it. And day you start finishing things on time, your schedules, they all start falling into place. And let me add a small pointer towards the end about distractions. Today you are living in a world of distractions. You have so many things to look at. You have a Facebook status to update. You want to follow what is the latest trend going on Twitter. You want to do an Instagram picture. You want to see a cricket match happening, a football match happening. You want to see everything happening, but no, you can't see everything when you're giving an exam. You have to look at ways to avoid distraction. Or if I put it in a better way, you can create a distraction which is more desirable. For example, what we do in DAMS is like we create a Facebook group for students to vent out in between and also look at what the teachers are saying, study in between, like a planned distraction. So you can have your own planned distraction. Okay, then when I'm tired, I'll do this as my planned distraction. But even in that activity, there will be some gain that you will be taking. Adding a physical activity to your distraction is a good idea. Okay, so they never underestimate the value of going for a walk in between or a jog in between your studying, and that would all help you to form a good sleep wake cycle, a good time management per day, and you end up taking more and more out of your day. In the end, I would like to say that many people stress about the number of hours that you put in a day. Probably I would be the person who would want you to differ. The idea is that if you put too many hours in a day without any output, it's of no use. So how many effective hours are you putting in is the key word. How many planned events are you planning in the next week? So the idea has to be that I will put the next 7 days, this will be my output, and let's quantify yourself on the output. Don't be looking at, okay, I've done 8 hours, but you have not done any effective study. That will not convert into your ranks. You have to target quantity of the quality of time that you spend in studying along with the quantity. The sole quantity that I am sitting all day in library without any qualitative output will not help you. So that is my message for the day. I hope this helps you in your time management for your exams. Time is the critical asset. If you manage it properly, you are going to do very well in the next exam. I wish you all the best.